Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Modern Warfare 3 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the P90 submachine gun, but first, I have some good news for you. Machinima Respawn finally decided to renew In Depth for a 4th season. Starting this Wednesday, I'm going to be going live every Wednesday on Machinima Respawn, and we're starting out with all of the weapons that have been patched. A lot of you guys send me messages in my inbox saying the shotguns, LMGs, other things have been patched, you should re-review them. Well, I'm going to start re-reviewing all of these patched guns on Machinima Respawn, so keep a lookout for that. And without further ado, let's start reviewing this P90. First things first, the P90 is a medium damage submachine gun. It deals 42 damage in close quarters combat, but will drop off to 20 damage at a distance. Compared to other SMGs, this drop distance is pretty mild. Some of them have very extreme drops. This is going to lead to you having a very consistent time to kill. However, when it comes to shots to kill, the P90 is going to take up to 3 shots to kill at close range and 5 shots to kill at a distance. That 5 shots to kill at a distance may be bad for assault rifles, but it's the best you're ever going to get out of SMGs. When it comes to headshots to kill, it's going to take between 2 and 4 headshots, so they're not always worth it. If you're close range, going for headshots is a good idea. Long range, I wouldn't even bother with them. This weapon fires at 857 RPM, which is average for submachine guns. That puts the P90 right in the middle of the pack in terms of rate of fire. In other Call of Duties and in other games, the P90 is normally the fastest firing submachine gun, so when you see it, you're going to think that it fires really fast, but it's actually quite normal. When you combine this average rate of fire with its medium damage, you're going to find that the P90 is the bearer of standards for average time to kill in the submachine gun class. It's definitely not the worst time to kill, but it's also not the best. The narrow damage drop does give it a fairly consistent time to kill for submachine gun class, but it's nothing to write home about. The damage drop profile on the P90 is unfortunately very low. All of the submachine guns have very low damage drop ranges. The P90 is no exception. This one has the exact same damage drop profile as the PP90, but its minimum damage is a little bit less. Anyway, let's talk about these numbers. The damage drop starts at 15 meters and the damage drop ends at 19 meters. So once you reach out to about the maximum range of shotguns, you're going to be doing your minimum damage on the P90. While I do kind of like this weapon and its time to kill and other factors, you're going to have to keep in mind that you are most often going to need all 5 shots to kill enemies unless they are very close to you. I'm going to classify the P90 as being a high accuracy submachine gun. It is not the most accurate submachine gun and it's not the most precise submachine gun, but it does have a very nice balance between the two. The recoil is moderate, it's manageable, it has a good and fairly predictable feel to it, so I can master the recoil here very easily and shoot the P90 more accurately than I can most other submachine guns. Because the rate of fire is not too high, I'm able to correct my shots very easily and kill people at a distance. I have an easier time killing people at long ranges with the P90 than I do with any other weapon, including the MP7. The iron sights on this weapon aren't the prettiest thing in the world, but I do find myself using them quite often. I don't normally need a red dot or thermal or ACOG or any sort of optical attachment. I only put those on there when I feel like playing around. You should be able to use the iron sights on the P90 quite effectively, and you should be able to see targets very clearly at any range. The reload animation on the P90 can be quite slow. Its normal reload is going to be about 3.12 seconds. That just kind of depends on if you have bullets in the magazine or not. It reloads slower, or it goes through the animation slower if you don't have bullets in the magazine, so always save 1 or 2 shots for this. However, if you're running sleight of hand, or if you're good at reload canceling, you'll see that your reload cancel time is about half that of the animation, so this is an excellent weapon to reload cancel with if that's your thing. Every submachine gun, including the P90, has these 3 same stats in common. Your run speed is 100%, so you're going to be moving very fast with this weapon. Your aim down sight's time is 0.2 seconds or 200 milliseconds, and your zoom, at least on the iron sights, is 1.2x. While this weapon may be average in many other respects, it leads the pack in terms of magazine capacity. The P90 has a very large 50-round magazine. This is important for sustained fire, for killing multiple enemies at once, and it's going to be important for killing enemies at a distance when it takes 5 shots to kill. You don't want to burn through your 30-round magazine and have to reload and let them run around a corner or something annoying like that. You can just bullet hose them. When you put extended mags on this weapon, you're going to increase your magazine capacity to 75, which is extremely large. That's going to put you up there close to light machine gun range. This last bit of information I'm tossing up is not a statistic or any sort of provable fact, but as you can tell from the gameplay, I'm quite good with the P90, and at least in my hands, this weapon has an overall good feel. I try not to talk about things like this because they are quite subjective. I'm sure many of you hate this weapon, but at least for me, I say this is one of the better feeling submachine guns in the game, and there's no real way to quantify that. My recommendation is that you just play a few rounds with it and see how you like it. My recommended setup for the P90 is to use kick and silencer or rapid fire, just kind of depending on your situation. I don't recommend kick on a lot of submachine guns because you're in close quarters combat, you're going to use focus more, or you're going to be able to stack multiple attachments and not worry about the recoil. But I feel that the main strength of the P90 is its overall good feel, its good accuracy, good iron sights, continued rate of fire. So what you want to do is increase your accuracy with this weapon. You want to put kick on there so that it's easier to handle at long ranges, so that you're not missing shots at medium range. Because this weapon has a sort of average time to kill and there's nothing too special about the damage profile, it's not the best at ultra close range combat. So medium to long or medium short is where you're going to want to be using this, and kick I think really fits that bill. Silencer, of course, keeps you off the radar. If you're using the iron sights, that's going to reduce your muzzle flash and make it easier for you to aim. You won't have that bright flash popping up every time you shoot. And of course there's rapid fire. If you want to run this thing in close quarters combat, you can put rapid fire on here, and it is very effective. It boosts it up closer to the PM9 kind of rate of fire, makes it very, very dangerous. However, that's going to increase your recoil again, and again you're going to need kick. Now, some of my friends and other people that I play with, I see them use extended mags. As a matter of fact, the gameplay that you're watching right now, I'm using extended mags. I just play around with these attachments. Going away from this recommended setup, you can use extended mags and silencer or rapid fire, or extended mags and kick. However, I feel that the biggest strength of this gun is that great feel. Most of the time, you see me using this thing with kick and silencer just like I did at the beginning of the game. Well, that's all for this episode, but I do have an update from you from my light machine gun buff episode where I tried to explain that patch on the day it came out. Jared Bleisner, or Unforgiven Exile, who is a Twitter follower and subscriber of mine, did some offline weapon testing, and he found that the MG36 and PKP both kill in one less hit over range when you're running double health, which means those two weapons are doing a constant 40 damage per shot. They don't have any sort of drop range associated with them. This is a lot like the Modern Warfare 2 light machine guns, and the other weapons are going to take 6 shots to kill at range. That means, I've already taken a look at the stat chart. I believe the LSW L86 does 38, and the MK46 is doing 34, and the M60 is doing 35 damage. I'm just trying to recall these numbers from memory. So I appreciate his help. If any of you would like to follow me on Twitter, or if you have some interesting damage stats to tweet at me, I do read the tweets. I do try and keep up and give credit where it was due. So thank you for updating us on those statistics. If everything goes as planned, in the next episode I'm going to be covering the ballistic vests. For real this time. Drifter out.